these copies like yesterday morning, super early, but they just aren't back yet. So I'll go check in just a little bit. Otherwise, is that homework due this week? No, 321 is not due this week. It's due next week. Look for a moment at what is due this week. I'm intentionally not putting it both places to get you in the habit. The final red box over there, well, the final box that has been written in red. So there are 4 assignments due, and when are they due this week? Thursday, because we don't have math class Friday. So I'm not collecting Tuesday's homework. I'm not collecting Wednesday's homework. The only homework from this week that we're collecting is Monday's 311. And then the other Chapter 2 stuff that still needs collected. Any questions on what is being collected tomorrow? So, I'll go check papers in a minute. Graph paper is oh so important. You could continue yesterday's. Actually, unless you wrote really big, get out yesterday's graph paper. Because it makes sense to continue it, and especially to keep track of, let's not lose things. Yesterday's graph paper should look like this. Right? We wrote about exponents. So, guys, the next section we're going to do, we're going to take a little bit of notes about squaring, just to make sure we understand what is happening. Because when I started thinking about where I'm going to put my notes, so hold up, listen. This is probably not enough space. So I had put this there, and I'm like, do I really want to try to squeeze it in at the side? Or would I rather have a bit more space? So at the bottom of my paper, I went ahead and gave myself a bit more space. We're going to look at 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, and 5 squared. What does it mean to square a number? Lane?
So like 2 squared or wait. Isn't it like wouldn't 2 squared be like 2 times 2?
Well, what is it? I mean, that's the math we do. What does it mean?
It's to like simplify instead of having to put like 2 times 2.
So, I mean, that's the math we do. But what does it mean? I mean, sure, but that's like trying to get you guys to understand what this does. Look up here. Well, that's what it is. I agree. Eli? Well, that's what it is, but Donna? That's what it is. Everything you guys have said is true. This is really a meter, but let's go ahead and call this 3. Let's call this 3 feet. Matt, will you shut the door too, please?
How many feet is a meter?
Just over 3 feet, but let's make our life easy and call this 3. Okay, if this is 3, look up here, because it won't make sense if you're not looking. This is 3. The length of 3, you have to imagine it's just a line that it has no thickness. It's just a line, right? When you get asked to square 3, look up here, I'm still missing some eyes. You take your 3 and make a square with it. So you got to imagine, because I only have so many hands, you take your 3 and make a square. So what squaring actually does, 2 squared says take the length of 2, right, 2 boxes, or two units, whatever you want to call it, and make it into a square. So yes, the math we do is 2 times 2, but well, how many squares do I now have inside of that square? 4. Likewise, for 3 squared, we're going to take the length of 3 and do what with it? Make it a square, right? So we have a length of 3, and then we make it a square. So it's 3 by 3 all the way around. So really, guys, what we're asking for here is the area. What's 3 times 3? 9. Guys, the trap door is people will instead, they'll accidentally do 3 times 2 and get 6. That is wrong. 3 squared is repeated multiplication. So what about 4 squared? We take 4. We take 4 and make it a square. So 4 by 4. And what's the area of a 4 by 4? 16. And one more just so we have good examples. For 5 squared, we're going to take 5. That is the best candy bar in my opinion. We're going to take 5. Thank you for somebody actually playing along with my little game here. Well, this game has an auditory component. Oh, speaking of, humble brag, while you guys are still writing stuff down, Eli Bailey is awesome. He's pretty much taken over the Lunchtime Game Club. So he took Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza, if you've never played this game, and he sleeved it, like put it in protective sleeves. But then the issue was that it wouldn't fit in the box anymore. So Eli brought it to me yesterday afternoon, and he's like, "Hey Hudson, we gotta like do something about this." And I said, "I got it. Don't worry." So I went home, made a little box. I need to sand it still because the wood was dirty from sitting in my garage, but a little bottom on it. So humble brag, math. It's all math and fractions. America wants to stick to fractions, so if you start trying to build things, you're gonna need to understand fractions pretty well. Like, guys, you don't have to be really good at math. You just have to understand it so you can write things down, use a calculator, use your tools. So, okay, so squaring. What about cubing, though? And I don't know that we're going to draw much in our notes because, quite frankly, we're living in a 2D world, which my wife would get a kick out of if she heard me say that. But cubing, because it goes back to this nerdy book that I really like called Flatland. It's also a novella. I'll show you guys the little clip video at some point.
Flatland about.
I'll show you the clip video at some point, assuming we have time at the end of class. Cubing. We're going to take a number, and what do you think? Do what with it?
Square it. What?
What power? I already told you cube, but to the third power. So, hold on. If I asked you to do, we're only going to draw 1 because this is tough. If I asked you to do 3 cubed, guys, you don't have to be able to do this. Please do not get upset if you can't, but give me a second. This is going to be difficult for me, but I'm going to try my best. Crap, I already started wrong.
Mr. Hudson, don't get mad at him. He's just learning.
Well, the problem is these can't go all the way 3 because they wouldn't actually. So if this is my 3 by 3 squared, this is my bottom 3 by 3. So now for 3 cubed, we'd also be 3 tall. It's really hard to draw and get it right. But what we would be making... Oh, you know what's way easier than drawing this?
You took people's ribbons?
No, they donated. This is a 3 cubed, right? And some of you right now are like, oh my god, I need to solve that now that he mixed it up. This is 3 by 3, but then by 3, if you make it a cube, this is 3 cubed. So when we do 3 cubed, it's very hard to draw because if you aren't very good at drawing in 3 dimensions, it's pretty tough. You want the lines that are on the front to be so these lines should be dotted. That's what I meant by I already messed it up. The back line should have been dotted because I could see these. I couldn't technically see that one. But 3 by 3 by 3. So 3 times 3 times 3. What is that? What's 3 times 3? 9. What's 9 times 3?
I can do this. 27.
And then, let's say each of these is like inch or whatever. It'd be inches cubed. And we should actually probably go back. Whatever the label is over here would be squared. So if we assume that it's inches, it would be inches squared.
I'm not sure I heard it.
Who? What? There's lots of people talking at the same time. Yeah, don't think too hard. it's hard to draw in 3 dimensions. That's why I also have isometric dot paper. If you're going to draw in 3 dimensions, it's better to draw with dot paper, not grid paper. So there's paper just covered in dots that you can line up the dots, but then all the other lines don't exist. So imagine there's just dots at every, like, where the graph paper meets. It's better for drawing in 3 dimensions.
Did you do it?
Yeah. So if you want to see another visual that is not just drawn by me, so squaring, right? Squaring. So 1 squared is just 1 by 1. But cubing, right? So imagine we build up a cube, right? Well, 1 cubed, 1 by 1 by 1 is just 1. Little bitty 1 cube. Hey guys, obviously not paying attention, doing what we're supposed to. So unless we both totally rocked out and mastered that last test, I would make sure that we're taking notes. Oh, hey, look, Rubik's Cube.
I did it.
It's almost like he planned it. All right, so that was review from yesterday. Today, what I need us to do is in your bin, guys, do not dump all these out because your last task today is going to be clean all these up. So if you dump all them out, you're going to clean all them up. But what I need you to do is get out 4 of these little pluses that are in here and 6 of the little minuses.
I did it several times.
You've done like a little bit with these.
Did this look right?
No.
No, that looks perfect.
Okay.
Awesome.
I mean, I pride myself on being honest with you guys.
Yeah, I know.
So now at this point, I probably need a new piece of graph paper, right? I'm going to leave this little chunk empty just because I don't know what else to do with it. So I'm going to go new piece of graph paper.
You do that. I said you do that.
Well, I appreciate your approval. Yes, thank you. Words.
You know what they say. You want to see Nemesis approval, do anything.
And who is this they?
Yeah.
Can we check about who this they
Everyone
is?
in the universe. I think every human except for you has said this at least once. I haven't. Okay, everyone except for people in this room.
Guys, what do you think would happen if, since Emery was the latest person in class, I just locked her out of the room?
Oh yeah.
What do you think she-
It's funny.
I like how immediately someone just like laughed. Like, all right. So we have 4 pluses. Now, hold on. Some of us, I heard some murmurs that like, wait, didn't we already do this or something like that? So hold on, if you think you've seen this before, let's see if anyone can help me out. Lane, can you tell me what I can do with these to like clean this up? What do you like? Put all the minuses together, pluses together, or so you're meaning like sort like this, right? Like kind of like when people do, or do this. Sorry, I went off the screen. Or do you mean do this? Okay, so Lane's got a good idea that we could. So how many negatives do I have? 6. How many positive do I have?
4.
So if we were to write this out, we could write, hey friends, we're going to write, sorry that you don't have paper, like the handout paper, but I'll go check in a minute. So if we had -6 and +4, who's going to win? Well, I guess we should first ask, do they get along or do they fight? They fight because bad guy, good guy. So who's going to win?
-6.
The -6 by how much?
2.
And
-2.
if we want proof of like why, like let's say a classmate shows up today and they hadn't been in our class, what happens every time I put a positive and a negative together? They cancel each other out.
Every time
So-
somebody has a negative.
Guys, really, you could think about this, and you don't have to write this, but you could think about this as -2 and -4
Look what I did. What'd you do?
and +4. Hey guys, some of you didn't do this right on the mastery, and we'll talk about that before you leave.
What should I title this?
This is just subtraction with integers, but I need you to kind of stop interrupting me because I'm getting a little bit frustrated. So, opposites, and some of us missed this in problem 2 or 3. I forget if it was problem 2 or 3, but we were trying to find opposites to make our life easier. So then, since those are opposites, they cancel, and we get -2. Questions? So if you feel like you don't need to use these, that's okay. But what I need you and your partner to practice, whether you use those or not, is these subtraction problems. So we're going to write these down on our paper, and then we're going to like practice doing them with, with our partner, or do them on your own and then talk with your partner to compare answers. Whatever you guys want to do. Anyone struggling to see these? Do I need to make these any bigger? We're going to write down these subtraction problems and then do them. I'm going to give you at least 5 minutes to do so. So on graph paper, please. Actually, I could run and check if we have your hand up. Can you guys handle yourselves if I run to the office real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I'm recording, so if anything happens, I can just go back to the video.
Are we allowed to use a calculator?
No, you shouldn't need a calculator for this. You can use your partner, though.
These are.
What?
He's my partner.
Yeah, as a resource, a tool.
7 times 9.
You can use your mental calculator.
Yeah. See, I work. I got 55,000. God. I thought you were going to check.
I am going to run to the office. I'm checking what messages came in from the team.
Well, that's important. That's very important. Totally.
Apparently, 7th grade is using the family room during Alpha on Friday.
What? Did you know that? No. I knew that.
You did.
Really?
How
Know
many
that.
regular size? Just one?
Yeah. We're alphas. No, we're better.
Hey guys, please stop. If you weren't doing anything, you don't have anything to stop. But the people that were doing something probably know that they were doing it. Right? Do the math. Quit playing with those. You did all 6 of those. Check with somebody. See if your answers are the same.
I don't. Some people just don't know what they're talking about. Exactly. You be quiet. You're the one who literally started talking. I'm gonna stop. Your name was in bed.
It's all good. I think DJ's already made the playlist. They're not here. Sorry.
My goodness.
DJ Legion, who's in charge of the canteen.
I thought you were in charge of the canteen.
I normally am, but like I offered up to you guys earlier in the year, if you want to learn how to work all that stuff and then kind of like take over and do whatever you want. It's like Lee wouldn't have to DJ the canteen, but they want to, so I'm gonna let them. I'll be there to help.
Okay. Oh, Lee's doing it?
And you start learning. So you can't just want to. You have to actually like during forums start helping with the audio stuff. During canteens start seeing how it works. Like you got to start getting involved. So it's not just like you can talk to me now, that doesn't matter. You just got to like actually start coming and doing. Oh, cards. Safe. Can you talk me through A? A's so difficult.
A is a little bit difficult,
Yeah.
so what you're gonna want to do is 6,
Good thing you're a big brain.
3, 2.
So you can just take 5 away from 7?
Yes.
So if you have $7, you can pay someone $5, and then you still have $2. Now, Emery, B has me a little confused. I have 0 minus 4. How? But if I have 0 pizzas, I can't give you 4 pizzas.
Yeah, you're in debt, so you have -4.
Oh, I go in debt, so I'm indebted to you.
Yep, now you have me 4 pizzas. Hope you know that.
I never agreed to this.
What? No, you totally
We can watch it back. I never agreed to this. I said if. So, wait, Devin. I'm at -6. Maybe I'm already in a pizza debt. And then -2? How do I do that, Devin? Ooh, I go into more debt. So I could also rewrite this as -6 plus -2. How much debt do I end up in? Yeah, -8. Be careful to make sure that you bring that negative with you, guys. Some of you forgot that negative. I hope you kept your mastery out because I keep referencing it. Question D of number 2, I think it was. If your mastery says positive question mark, or POS, guys, that's positive, right? I'm not going to write out the entire word for all of you. You forgot to bring the negative with you.
What?
If I wrote POS question mark. All right. Ashley, what about D? I have 3, and I want to take away -4. This one's really weird to think about. Like, I'm honest here. This one's really weird to think about. Do you know what to do? Or are you going to pass for now? So, if I have 3, right, positive, I have 3, I need to take away 4 negatives. Do I have any negatives to take away? Hey guys, those of us playing with the tiles and or ripping paper or making origami or whatever's happening, you're missing the critical part of the lesson. And if that's a choice you're going to make, I can't change what you're doing. Like, no one can really control you except for you. But it seems to correlate to people that struggled on the mastery to people that are sometimes only half paying attention. I do not have any negatives that I can take away right now. But I could bring in some negatives as long as I do something else at the same time. Anyone know what I mean? Okay, Emery, I will agree to give you some pizza.
Wait, actually?
I'm going to give you a positive pizza and a negative pizza at the same time.
That's 0.
So if I give Emery a positive pizza and a negative pizza at the same time, how many pizza does Emery have?
0.
So if I bring in a positive and a negative, did I change anything?
No.
No. So if I bring in another positive and another negative, did I change anything?
No.
This is directly on your homework. If you are not listening now, you're gonna struggle with that question. This is still 3, right? 3, 0, 0. This is still 3. Do I have 4 negatives yet?
No.
No. Do I still have 3? Yes. Do I still have 3?
Yeah.
So, can I take away 4 negatives now?
No.
Yeah, I have negatives, right?
Yeah, but
This is 3, and I have negatives now.
I know, but those negatives aren't with those guys.
No, they are, because
they're not.
this is
It's
0,
only pluses.
this is 0, this is 0, this is now 3.
Wait, but there's not. Wait. They're not negatives. They're 0.
So, stop,
There's not 3.
because saying it again doesn't make it true. This is +1, this is -1. Together, as a couple, they cancel each other out and they're 0. But when they split up, they're still +1 and -1.
Yeah.
Your relationship should not permanently change who you are individually. So if I split these couples up and I take away the 4 negatives because no one likes negatives anyways,
That's not true.
so if I take away 4 negatives, what do I have now? 7. Because minus a negative. This should go in your notes.
Minus a negative.
Minus a negative actually is this, because taking away bad guys, taking away debt is a good thing. So that's really 3 plus 4. It comes out to be 7. Now, if we look at E, talk with your partner about E. Double check that you guys agree with the answer that you have written down. Yeah, D is just regular 7. Yep. This is why we're supposed to be working in partners and talking with people. Helps your brain.
I got +3. Minusing is not really minusing, it's plusing.
E, who I wondered if this would almost match my blue binder, because this is my blue binder and then my blue background. So I have -8, right? I owe Emery. I do not. I'm not going to say that. Okay, Bethany, if I have -8, can I take away -5?
No, you have to add it. Wait.
Well, if I have -8,
Wait, sorry.
can I take away, because subtraction is take away, right? Can I take away -5? Yes. Now, you said we need to add, and I don't disagree, because taking away a negative is like the same thing as saying, okay, this positive is going to whoop, yoink. So if I take away 5 negatives, what do I have now?
-3.
3, and that's what Bethany was meaning, is this really is the same as saying -8 plus 5, which, wait a minute, let's reset that.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
If we had, guys, I'm losing some of you, but this is like the stuff that's on your practice. If you had -8 and you add 5, what happens for every positive negative pair?
That cancels out.
It's 0. So gone, 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 gone. Same answer.
Those ladies
We
are
get
taking away all-
-3. Guys, having these examples on your paper would be a really good idea. All right, and then class. So does anybody, everybody answer at the same time? Minus a negative becomes
A positive.
plus. Now be careful. It doesn't necessarily become positive. It becomes plus. Right? So -1. Both of these got used. If you're in debt 1 and you gain 9, can you pay off your debt?
No.
Yeah. How much do you have left once you pay off your debt?
8. Not negative.
Questions? This chair is bothering me. I don't know how we made it this far in class without. Sorry, so I'm sure that was bothering you too. What? The chair? Actually, I'm not sure that it was bothering you also, Donna.
But I don't understand D and E.
So if you have 3, you have $3, right? 3 positive dollars. Can we take away 4 negatives? Not like, it doesn't look like we can, right? Does not look like we can. However, what we talked about was if I bring in this, it's the same as adding 0. Are you with me there?
Yes.
Are you sure? Because other people said yes first, and I don't want you to just say it because other people did. A positive 1 and a -1. Please stop talking. Not yup. Not all right. You two cannot sit together tomorrow. You're having a rough morning, dude. I heard the interaction between you and Goldring. You got to calibrate. You're at school. Quit talking at the same time that I'm talking.
I know that you add -1 plus 1 equals 0.
Yeah, okay, so -1 plus 1. Yeah, right? So this is 0. Are you cool with that? So this is 0. This is 0. This is 0. Doesn't really matter which one I put first. So this whole set is 0. This is still 3. So 3 plus 0 is 3. So now that I've added this 0, adding 0 feels silly, but that's what I did. Like, I gave Emery 4 pizzas and took them away. So can I now take away -4? Well, yes, because now we have negatives that we can take away. But as soon as I start doing that, the value of the set starts to get more positive, because every time I remove that negative, the positive remains, and it makes the set get bigger. And that's why removing bad guys is the same thing as adding good guys. And if you need more refresher on this, and this is why I love that you kept pushing. So, in chapter 3, I've added a couple of videos about exponents. In the main Schoology page, in the PBS Math Club videos, guys, I'm telling you, these are great videos that relate to the content we're learning. What is an integer? Subtracting integers is what we're doing today. Did we get a chance to watch this at any point? We did not watch the matrix thing?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I think we did. So if you don't remember it, that means that's a you problem, but it's there on our Schoology, subtracting integers. And you can also watch adding negative numbers. Both of these are great videos that we have watched just probably like, a week, 2 weeks, a month ago. But yeah, in chapter 3, I put a couple things about exponents. I'm going to move PBS Math Club above my just funny YouTube videos. All right. Did that help a little bit, Donna? So because we wanted to take away the negatives, that's how it became positive. Because both of these, I used the minus and the negative. Both of those get used to make this plus. Because removing bad guys or removing debt is a good thing. Right? It's actually positive. Removing bad guys is actually positive. Does that make sense a little bit? The only way this makes more sense is practice it. You just got to do your homework, practice it, check your answers. Which we'll check 311 tomorrow before we turn it in. So no, because we're going to try this way. We're not going to go back because if you're stuck on what we just did, a different method might be what you need. Quickly draw a number line. Like, doesn't have to be nice. Just draw a number line. I would make it like decent on the graph paper just because that makes your life easier. I'd maybe even grab a ruler.
I'm really good at drawing straight lines. Did you draw like that?
Like, yeah, horizontal number line. Just like what they have up there.
With the numbers?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to want some numbers on it. You at least need to mark your 0. You know the rulers were almost within your arm's reach back there. You can use that, I don't care, but the rulers are back there. 2 minus 7. How we can draw that on the number line is we have 2. We're going to start at 2. Put a dot or something at 2. Minus. Now, or we could change this to plus negative. Show on your number line what happens. Just about to is the same thing as I'm not doing it. You're better than this. Is minus going to take us to the left or to the right? Left, because we're going down. It's bad, right? We're subtracting. We're losing. It's only good, I guess, if it's the opposing team. That's like losing yards, but it's bad for them. So minus 7, we're going to shift left 7 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we end up at negative 5. 1 minus negative 2. Guys, look up here. If I'm at 1, right, if I'm at 1 minus, so I'm going that way. But as soon as I turn this way and then I say, wait, how far am I going? The opposite of 2. Wait, that the opposite of that way. Okay, now 2. So minus, I first start to think, okay, I'm at 1. I think I'm going to go left. But how far left? The opposite of 2. So what the opposite, oh crap, I have to turn around again and now go this way and end up at 3. Minus had told me go left, but then the opposite or the negative, or you can really get yourself in the habit of saying minus a negative is really going to turn into 1 plus 2. Both the minus and the negative. Both the minus and the negative. Right, they both get taken to become that plus. When we talk about distances, and there are problems like this, I think on 311. Maybe it was last night's homework, 312. When we talk about distances between, this is the last thing we're doing today, right? If you're going from a positive to a negative or a negative to a positive, what are we for sure gonna pass on the way? The what? The 0. So from negative 6.72, if you want on your number line, put like where you think about negative 6.72 would be. Between negative 6 and 7, right? I didn't say pack up. I still have 2 minutes. I'm real confused. It is 1:45. You know what is expected of you. We have less patience because you're older, you've been here for a while, and you know better. Please do what you're supposed to do. It makes everything go so much easier. So from negative 6.72, how far is it to get to 0? I'm trying to make your life easier, guys. How far is it to get to 0, Sam? What is it?
7.
Well, just under, right? 6.7. So 6.72 if we're talking about distance, right? Then, how far is it to get up to 4.13? 4.13. So when we're talking about total distance between them, we really need to make them both positive and add them. Because to get to 0, and then to get from 0, distance is positive. So distance up, it's really both positives. We'll add them up. 6 and 4 is 10. 85. Now I'm out of time and we can pack up. Corrections for your mastery go on a separate piece of paper. If you were not finished, you can finish on the test, but corrections go on a separate piece of paper. Okay, try to get those in soon. I probably won't put them in math at least till the weekend.
Bye, Mr. Have a good day. I'm ready.
Can you see the
Don't leave me.
Instead of writing down or writing down during class, can you see the connection? But then you don't know what you're doing. So here's the connection. When you don't practice things during class, and then you don't take your homework seriously, you don't know what you're doing when it comes time to practice. There is the connection. So I'm frustrated with you. Even when you got this giving back to you, you're still back to parking around instead of taking it more seriously. I don't know if you're just having a bad day. I'm going to chalk this up to a bad day. I'm going to hope that tomorrow's better.
Bye, Mr. Have a good day.
Goodbye. Have a great day.
Mr. Hudson, do you know how to deal with a